Welcome to Network Professionals. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Network Professionals. Engineer, Javiria Oftab. In lecture number 11, we discussed chapter 5. In this lecture, we will start from where we left off. So, let's begin. Wireless protocols, cellular generations. Wireless communication has evolved significantly over the years through different generations of mobile network technology. Each generation brought new features, faster speeds, and better connectivity. 1G, 2G. Early beginnings. 1G was the first generation of mobile communication and it supported only analog voice calls. 2G introduced digital voice, conference calling, and caller ID. Speeds were still very low, less than 9.6 kilobits per second, suitable only for basic voice services. 2.5G, a step toward data. This generation enhanced 2G by enabling basic internet access. It supported web browsing, short audio, video clips, and speeds up to 237 kilobits per second. It was the start of integrating data services with mobile communication. 3G, real internet experience. Brought in support for full motion video, streaming music, and other multimedia content. Speeds increased significantly to up to 2 megabits per second, allowing for a more modern internet experience on mobile devices. 3.5G, high-quality multimedia. Improved on 3G by enabling high-quality streaming, video conferencing, and voice over IP. Speeds could reach up to 16 megabits per second, making it more suitable for business and entertainment use. 4G, fast and IP-based. Introduced IPv6, IP-based voice services, online gaming, and high-quality multimedia streaming. Significantly faster, offering speeds up to 672 megabits per second. It marked the shift toward all IP networks, meaning everything, voice, video, data, traveled over the Internet Protocol. LTE, long-term evolution, a type of 4G that meets international speed standards. Improved mobile connectivity even when the user is in motion. Speeds could reach up to 100 megabits per second while mobile and up to 1 gigabit per second when stationary. 5G, smart and connected. Current generation with support for augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, smart homes, autonomous vehicles, and IoT, Internet of Things. Delivers extremely fast speeds, up to 3 gigabits per second for downloads and 1.5 gigabits per second for uploads. Also offers low latency, which is important for real-time applications like gaming and live communication. 6G, the future. Still under development, as of late 2022, with no official standards yet. Expected to offer even faster data transfer, enabling advanced AR, VR, AI-powered applications, and instantaneous global communication. Aimed at beyond human speed levels of connectivity for highly advanced technologies. Network services, client-server roles. In a computer network, network services allow devices, like computers, printers, phones, to communicate and share resources. These services often work on a client-server model, where one device, the client, requests a service, and another device, the server, provides that service. Client. A client is a device or software that sends a request to the server. It uses network services but does not provide them. Server. A server is a powerful computer or software that provides services to clients over a network. It responds to client requests. File client and server. A file server stores files and manages access to them. A file client connects to the server to upload, download, or modify files. Example. In an office, employees, clients, access shared documents from a central file server. Web client and server. A web server hosts websites and serves web pages using HTTP, HTTPS. A web client, like a browser, Chrome, Firefox, sends a request to the web server and displays the content. Example. You open a website, go your browser, client, contacts the website's server, go the page loads. Email client and server. An email server handles sending, receiving, and storing emails using protocols like SMTP, IMAP, or POP3. An email client, like Outlook or Gmail app, is used to read, write, and manage emails. Example. When you send an email, the client sends it to the server, and the server delivers it to the recipient. Network services, DHCP server. A host, like a computer or phone, needs IP address information before it can send or receive data on a network. Without an IP address, the host cannot communicate with other devices. What does DHCP do? DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, is a network service that automatically assigns IP addresses, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server information to each device that connects to the network. Who uses DHCP? SPs, Internet Service Providers, network administrators in schools, offices, and businesses. Wireless routers in homes. They all use DHCP to automatically provide IP address information to connected hosts. DHCP works in a client-server mode. How DHCP works in client-server mode. DHCP operates in a client-server model. In this model, the DHCP client, e.g., a computer or phone, requests an IP address. The DHCP server provides the requested IP address and other network settings. DHCP server scope. A DHCP server is configured with a scope, a defined range of IP addresses. This scope includes a pool of available IP addresses that the server can lease, assign, to DHCP clients. The scope ensures that the server knows which IP addresses it can offer to devices on the network. 4-step process for obtaining an IP lease. When a DHCP client boots up or joins a network, it follows a 4-step process to request and receive an IP address lease from the DHCP server. Firstly, DHCP Discover. The client sends a broadcast message to find any available DHCP server on the network. Secondly, DHCP Offer. The DHCP server responds with an offer of an IP address, along with other network settings like the subnet mask and default gateway. Thirdly, DHCP Request. The client selects one of the IP addresses offered and sends a request to the DHCP server to confirm the lease. Fourthly, DHCP Acknowledgement. The server acknowledges the request and formally assigns the IP address to the client for a specific period, called the lease time. This process allows automatic IP configuration, making it easier to manage devices on a network. DHCP Lease Renewal. When a client, like a computer or phone, receives an IP address from the DHCP server, it doesn't keep it forever. Instead, it gets the IP address for a limited time, called a lease. Periodic renewal. The client must contact the DHCP server regularly to renew or extend the lease before it expires. This ensures the client can continue using the same IP address without interruption. Why this matters? If a device is turned off or moved to a different network, it no longer needs its old IP address. The lease mechanism makes sure these unused IP addresses are not wasted. When lease expires. If the lease expires and the client didn't renew it, the DHCP server takes the IP address back. The IP address then goes back into the pool and can be assigned to another device when needed. This system keeps the network efficient, organized, and avoids IP address conflicts. Network Services, DNS Server. DNS stands for Domain Name System. A DNS server helps computers find websites on the internet. It translates domain names, like CISCO.com, into IP addresses, like 192.0.2.1, so computers can connect to the correct website or server. Why is DNS important? Humans remember names, like Google.com, but computers use IP addresses. DNS makes it easy to browse the internet without needing to remember numbers. 5 steps in the DNS resolution process. In first step, DNS query initiated. The user types a website address, e.g., CISCO.com, in the browser. A DNS request is sent to find the IP address. In second step, check local cache. The computer first checks its local DNS cache to see if it already knows the IP address. In third step, request sent to recursive DNS server. If not found locally, the request goes to a recursive DNS server, usually provided by the ISP. In fourth step, recursive server contacts root and authoritative servers. The recursive server may contact other DNS servers, including the root server, TLD server, like .com, and the authoritative DNS server for Cisco.com. In fifth step, IP address returned. The final IP address is returned to the client, and the website loads in the browser. We'll discuss the remaining topics in the next lecture. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel Network Professionals for more informative videos.